my first ever legit wrestling back bump was in a legit, like it was in a backyard. I mean, there was a ring set up, but it was in a backyard, which was really cool. And unfortunately enough, it was one of my friends, which he passed away last year. But we used his ring, or we used that ring out back, and everything was cool. And just it felt like I was at home. It felt like I was a kid. Next day, obviously, I was sore as hell, but it was nice to like get in the feel of things. And so I talked to my buddy Adam again, and just try to get where I would need to go for the basics and the best training possible in my area. So that's when he was telling me about a guy by the name of Mike Sampson, which on the Indies he goes by Iron Cross. So he's an old school wrestler. He was a jobber for the WWF. So he jobbed out to like the Steiner brothers, the Hart Foundation. He was really well known, and he was a great worker. And so he was very old school with his work. So I trained under him for, I think it was like two times is when I had like two training sessions, and then my first ever match was literally 2 days later, and it was thrown out of nowhere. And so after two training sessions, I had my first match, and then I had a few more training sessions before I went down to Georgia for chiropractic school. And then when I went down to Georgia, that's where I was looking into different, places. Like, there was the Nightmare Factory. There's like a bunch of other places that, they're really well known. And to look into it, I was like, what would help me benefit me a little bit more? And I looked, and again, like everyone, respecting everyone and their teachings, but I looked into All Pro Wrestling Academy, which was under Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express. So when I went to his place, he literally helped me, tear down the foundation that I had, to help rebuild it, to help, make it more sturdy. And then from there, I trained under him for about 2.5, almost 3 years until his school shut down. And then I ended up going to WWA4, and I trained a little under a year under AR Fox. So I have a little bit of the old school, a little bit of the new school in me. Then after a year later, I moved up to Massachusetts after I graduated from chiropractic school, and me and my wife got married, and so now I'm at New England Pro Wrestling Academy, and I'm repping them tonight.